And then over here, I have, I don't know if you can see it, I have like a bar stool thing right there. I have two of them actually, but I just put that one on the side right there. But yeah, it's fairly simple. It doesn't take long. All I do is when I pick up items and you know, when there's nothing wrong with them or they have like loose screws on the legs or whatever, I just simply tighten the screws up and spray paint them. So I'm just going to show you a quick video on how easy it is. Spray paint dries very fast and you'll see the difference that it makes. Now, I'm not the best spray paint artist, but I have done this several times, so just bear with me. I have my infant daughter out here, so hopefully she behaves while I'm doing this. And you want to be sure not to pile it on too thick. You know, you may have to do a few coats, but you don't want to pile it on too thick because then it'll start to run and then it won't look so great. Like right here, if you get too close or, you know, layer it on too thick, it'll start to run. But I'm not too concerned because it's the underneath part, so that's why I'm starting underneath, so that, you know, I can kind of get enough practice, so by the time I get to the part that really matters, you know, hopefully I'll have it perfected. But it's fairly easy, you know, just nice even strokes. The only problem I have is I don't have a garage, so as you can see in the background, I'm in my apartment complex, and it kind of blows all over the place, so that's an issue that I face often, but I'm working with what I have, so I make the best of it. And you know, the more you do this, the better at it you'll become. I do it quite often and still sometimes make mistakes. I tend to go too fast. But you know, if you just lay it on at a steady pace, you'll be just fine. And you'll want to clean your nozzle quite often, because if you don't, it'll get clogged, and then, you know, the spray won't come out evenly. So then you'll be wasting spray because you'll be like pumping really hard, and you know, it won't come out how you want it to, and you won't get an even layer on the item that you're spray painting. Now, I like black, and I notice a lot of people that purchase items from me, they like the black color. When I started doing this, getting items to sell, you know, I never had it in my mind to spray paint things first or whatever, but there was one lady that bought a dresser from me one time that I had actually picked up for free on Craigslist in the free section, and sold it for 40 bucks. So the lady was like, yeah, you know, do you have any more dressers? I want another dresser. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I do. See, here comes the wind. So it's kind of like making me waste my spray paint. But anyway, she was like, yeah, I want to get a second dresser from you, but when I showed her the picture of the dresser I had, it was brown. It was like a darker brown like this or whatever. It wasn't very attractive. And she was like, well, you know, I'm looking for a white dresser. I really want a white dresser. So I'm like, okay, I have no problem spray painting it for you. So I got some white paint and spray painted it. You know, I took off the handles to the dresser or whatever before I spray painted it. And then spray painted it, let it dry. Didn't take long at all. That's one good thing about spray paint. Doesn't take long to dry. Screwed the handles back on and took it out to her, and she was happy. I was a little worried because her son was like, yeah, make sure you do a good job, you know, if you paint it, because she's particular and blah blah blah. And you know, I practiced on a dresser of my own at first just to you know, get some practice or whatever. And I mean, it's very simple, you know. You do this with items, you know, you just want to make look newer that you have around the house, even if you're not going to resell it. But look at how this looks better already. And the thing is, with spray paint, you don't have to prime it, you don't have to sand it. That's the difference with spray paint and regular paint. You know, I'm not an expert, but I was told that if you use regular paint, you know, you need to mix paint thinner with it, primer, and all this and that. And I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to get into all that. So, you know, I just spray paint it. And actually, this is Krylon. I don't know if you can see this. But yeah, Krylon Dual Super Bond. It says that it's paint and primer. So it says no sanding, no priming. Can use it on metal, wood, plastics, laminates, and this is black satin. I picked this up. This is a 15 ounce. I picked this up at Walmart for like $3.77. So, you know, sometimes you may need 2 cans for a project or 1. You know, it just depends on how many coats you put on it and how large the item is. But I'm thinking this 1 can may be enough. I'm not sure. But, you know, I always buy a few cans at one time, so I'm going to finish. And even though this can of paint says you can hold it at any angle, 360 degrees, I try to still like do it at my comfort level or whatever. Now this is one of these drop leaf tables, so I'm going to want to make sure that I get the paint in all of the crevices. So I'm just going to go like this and go like this and spray paint in these corners first. It's very simple. You know, I want it to look like it actually came black. I don't want it to look as if, oh yeah, that was spray painted. Now I did get a little too close over here on the edge, but that should be fine once it dries. I was a little too close. So it's running a little bit. There is expensive spray paint that you can get that claims that it does not run, but I'm not certain how good it is or how true that is actually. I'm just going to get in here on the crevice on this other side, and I believe I'm probably at like half a can of spray paint left, which is fine. You know, if I had a garage that, you know, could cover the area around the table or whatever it is I'm spray painting, then, you know, I wouldn't be wasting a lot of spray paint. But right now, with the wind blowing, no cover, you know, I'm kind of wasting spray paint, but I'm still able to get the job done. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it back up, hopefully without touching any of the paint. And I mean, this is so simple. I mean, you see I'm out here in my, well, not my best clothes, but I'm out here in my regular clothes I normally wear, because spray paint, you know, it's not messy at all. I mean, sometimes I do get my clothes messy, but it comes out in the wash, so it's no big deal. Okay, now the center part here. This. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit, and I have missed a few spots. You probably can see it, but I'll get to those later. It's no big deal. I'm going to try to start this up here, and yeah, I'm missing some spots, but I'm going to go over it again with another coat. Like I said, you don't want to layer it on too thick, because then you'll have it dripping, which will kind of look messy. And even if you do make a mistake, I mean, the people buying the used items from you, they know that, you know, it's used, basically. So it's going to have a few scratches or whatever, but, I mean, it's amazing at what a coat or a couple coats of spray paint will actually do for something, you know. People throw these things away. I picked this up because it was one guy, I guess he needed to have all of his items out of his apartment by the 1st. And, I mean, he just had a lot of different things sitting out there couches, tables, electric heater, dressers, coolers, and I grabbed it all. You know, it was sitting out there, so I took it. See, even the cigarette stains, cigarette butt stains or whatever, I guess people are putting their cigarettes out on this table, but to me, it just makes it look a lot better compared to trying to clean it and whatnot. I simply just wipe it down and, you know, and get going on the spray paint. So it's really just that simple, and I think this one can is actually going to be enough. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you want to be in the YouTube video too, huh? Okay. Alright, well, I mean, this is it, really. I mean, I'm going to go over it again with a second coat, but as you can see, it looks a lot better, and it's even shiny because I got the black satin kind. So, yeah, I mean, whatever you get, whatever item you get, you know, don't just look at it for what it looks like at that moment, you know. Just try to have an open mind and be creative. I mean, spray paint comes in all different colors, and I mean, they're shiny, they're